If you are a starseed or a lightworker, get ready because things are about to accelerate. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean, and I help people spiritually awaken and embark on a conscious path of ascension. In this video, I'm going to talk about our inevitable planetary expansion into the cosmos, because we are about to awaken to the fact that we are a part of a larger intergalactic universe. And this awakening is inevitable because technology and ascension are going to take us there. So if you consider yourself to be a starseed or a lightworker, then keep on watching. So I want to illuminate part of the purpose for why you have possibly come to this earth in service to humanity and to the earth itself. So firstly, I am a walk-in, and you can watch my video series about how that happened. The links will be down below if you want to check that out and find out what that is all about. So I am part of a group of beings known as Telstar, and the word Telstar refers to communication from the stars. So we use the word Telstar specific to our work here on this planet. Now, I have been here physically on this earth working in this capacity for quite a few years now. And Telstar is part of a much larger consortium that is interdimensional and interuniversal in nature. And we are part of something known as I.U.C.C.E.P. I just call it I.U.C.C.E.P. And those letters stand for Interuniversal Confederation of Communication and Evolutionary Processes. And by the way, guys, that's just a translation into English for purposes of this earth. And our purpose in the cosmos is to facilitate ascension and evolution, which simply means playing a part in the restoration of this universe back into what we refer to as the real world, where all is a manifestation of love, light, and omnipresent oneness. So that's where I'm coming from when I give you guys this message. Now, here's what I want to talk about today. Now, of course, I don't have any knowledge about your individual purpose and mission, but what I want to do is talk to you about the bigger picture just to give you some important food for thought. Now, the fact is this: humans on this planet have been kind of slow to evolve. And that's because we have been put in a state of isolation from the rest of the cosmos. So it's kind of like this is almost like a slave planet or something. And thus, as a collective, we have lost all perspective. I mean, we think the purpose of life is to go to school, get a job, work hard, reproduce, and just kind of wear yourself out until you eventually die. So sometimes I look at it like this as an analogy. If you had this gigantic prison and you made sure that the prisoners had no awareness whatsoever of the outside world, well, they would probably just accept things as they are and do their best to try and make the best of their situation. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of what might be happening here on planet Earth. I mean, think about this. The status quo consensus is that the Earth is the only planet where there is life. I mean, maybe there's a planet somewhere that could support life, but because we haven't found it yet, that's as good as saying it doesn't exist. Now, here's the problem. If you are a starseed, you know that this is not true. You know that there is life everywhere in this universe. But the thing is, we Earth humans are in no way ready to cope with that. So here's my concern. AI and technology are without question going to take us out into the universe. And without question, we are going to discover that there is a lot of life out there. And we are going to have to wake up to the fact that we are in actuality part of a galactic and an intergalactic community of life. I I mean, can you imagine that we are still debating about whether or not UFOs are real? I mean, that's like debating whether or not cars are real. So the thing is, events like ascension and AI are taking us rapidly into a future that we humans here are so far in no way prepared for. And that's why I'm bringing this up with you guys today. I mean, the mainstream press now openly ekes out almost every day some credible story about UFOs. And the Navy in this country openly admits that they're real. In fact, even the Washington Post says they're real. I saw that article with my very own eyes. But guys, those are just vehicles flying around. What happens when we encounter the occupants of those vehicles? And we eventually will. I mean, that's a certainty. So, if pointing out to us something like, hey, there might be some UFOs flying around out there. If that's as close as we have come in terms of being prepared for the inevitability of extraterrestrial contact, then we are way behind the curve of events that are rapidly unfolding. And this is where all of us as starseeds and lightworkers come in. We are here to accelerate, advance, and support human evolution. So we need to do our part to help other human beings on this planet prepare to come into contact with our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters. Now, before you freak out and say, Saratoga, I have no idea how that's supposed to happen, let me explain. It's actually not as difficult as it sounds. Now, if you are a starseed and you are true to your heart and true to yourself, you know for a fact that there are countless life forms throughout this universe. And in fact, many of them look just like us. But on the other hand, many of them don't. Now, here's the thing. We human beings on Earth are used to a certain vibratory range of energy and intelligence. And that range is really very narrow. Basically, we're pretty much just used to ourselves and the other life forms that we see on Earth. And we are in no way prepared for anything beyond that. You want to know how I know that? Because we can't even deal with our own human skin color. I mean, people are still freaking out about other people who have the wrong color skin. I mean, can you imagine that? Wrong color skin? I mean, what does that even mean? I mean, if you can't handle a different skin color in your own Earth-based species, there's no way you can handle different life forms that are galactic and intergalactic in nature, right? So, what is the answer to all of this? The answer is for the people of this planet to evolve into more holistic, high vibrational beings of higher consciousness. So our role as starseeds and lightworkers is to help people move beyond merely seeing themselves as dense physical beings whose job it is to conform to the status quo, work really hard, and not make any trouble by being any different than anyone else. Our role is to assist others in elevating their consciousness to a place where they become intuitive and strong, where they understand that vibration tells you the truth about everything, and most importantly, where they learn to tap into the inner wisdom of their hearts. Because you see, we are all going to need this level of strength and clarity to be able to deal effectively with the events coming ahead. So just by being yourself, by being authentic and being true to who you really are, you can show people something much more elevated at a vibrational level. Now, if you know for a fact that you are a starseed who is incarnate here from another part of this universe, then one of the best things you can do is to live from the source of who you really are. And that way you can essentially be the first line of extraterrestrial contact because you are still here at an earthly vibrational level. And you have the same earth-based physical body, so therefore your extraterrestrial presence is a lot less likely to freak someone out, right? And if you consider yourself to be a light worker, then what you essentially are is an ambassador of the light. How beautiful is that? I mean, essentially, you are here to be like a vibrational tuning fork. Your presence has the power to raise the vibration of any situation, which is completely awesome. So in conclusion, there are two fundamental things that need to be accomplished, and accomplished rather quickly. We as light workers and starseeds need to contribute our energy, our knowledge, and our intelligence to raise the vibration of this earth to a much higher level. And if you are a starseed, then your role is to help prepare the people on this planet for an inevitable awakening to the fact that we are part of an intergalactic community of life. And overall, our largest role is to help prepare this earth and everyone on it for the process of ascension. And that is an extremely powerful event where people will have the opportunity to finally be released from the shackles of everything that's been holding them back, that's been holding them into a feeling of being enslaved in some way. The more that we can help people raise their vibration, come in touch with who they really are, connect with the wisdom in their hearts, find that inner strength, the more people will be able to take advantage of that enormous opportunity. So our role is really one of love and light and enormous support by being who we really are and not being afraid to express our most authentic selves. Now, I will probably have a lot more to say about all of this in the future, but for right now, I think this is probably enough just to expand your reference points for your mission and your purpose as to why you are here as a light worker and a starseed. I'd love it if you leave me a comment below and let me know if you are aware of what your actual mission and purpose is here. Let me know if you feel that you are a starseed, or if you feel that you're a light worker, or maybe you feel that you're both. In other words, just leave a comment about anything at all related to the topic that I discussed with you guys here. And please share this out with anyone else who you think would benefit specifically from this topic. And if you enjoyed this video and you would like more support in your own spiritual awakening and ascension, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified each time I post a new video, because there's a lot more to come. And with that, I'm sending you so much love, light, positive energy. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.